Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a wonderful day, wonderful evening at this point. So, what we are expecting to see for the rest of the night, pretty clear skies, nice and comfortable conditions. We're in the mid 50s for the moment across the area. A couple of folks already taking it down to some of those 40s. Decatur, Fort Payne already dropping to about 45 to 48. Lots of us will start to sit around those 40s going into the later hours tonight, around maybe 11 o'clock or so. Some of our areas that have already kind of reached 45, like Coleman and Meridianville, we could see 40 to 39 out of those areas. But a lot of us are expecting to stay right above that same level temperature-wise. So what we're doing for the rest of this weekend, nice, beautiful, warm, toasty sunshine. We're expecting to see a lot of the 70s get back into the forecast. We were right under 70 today. Our forecasted high was about 70, but we only hit about 69 today. So a couple areas did, though, tap out around 70 to 71. I believe Muscle Shoals was one of those main areas. Even Florence seeing some 70s out that way as well. So here's what we're looking at for the rest of this weekend. Like I mentioned, getting into the mid and upper 70s. Quite toasty outdoors. And at this rate, what even is our average forecast at this point? We're going into March well above average still. We usually don't see 70s for this long of a time until we get into about April. That's usually the average for April. So right now we are still well above average, even though in February we're about 20 degrees or so above average, but in March we're at least 10 to 12 degrees above average. So maybe we'll kind of close that gap just a teeny bit some days here and there. Our lows, though, still in the 40s. So it's going to be quite chilly going into each morning. You'll notice we're around 41 tomorrow morning, Sunday around 45. Decent breeze, but even still quite calm. It's not going to be as strong as we've seen from around Wednesday and Thursday. So keep that in mind as you make your plans going into the weekend. Could see a nice breeze out there. So it won't be too hot for us. We're expecting to see increasing cloud cover as well going into Sunday and Monday. Thankfully, though, it's just partly cloudy conditions. Not expecting to see an overcast evening or most of your day be completely washed out with clouds, although we'd have rain chances getting back into our forecast by Tuesday. Now, we did mention this earlier this afternoon in our 5 and 6 o'clock shows, but we do have the planetary parade that is coming through. Now, tonight, you may have been able to see Venus and Mars. However, it's at its peak tomorrow. So the visibility will start about 30 or so minutes after sunset. Right about now, we're usually setting the sun here in Huntsville around 5:35 to 5:36 specifically. So right around 6 o'clock, that's when we'll start to see that visibility, and it ends sharply, promptly, before 7. So keep that in mind if you want to get outside and enjoy it. I say that for myself personally, but here's what we're looking at for the rest of this weekend, Saturday evening. What we're expecting with this is just that visibility of Venus and Mars, but also if you have a telescope, you may be able to see Uranus, you may be able to see other planets, but Venus and Mars will be the most visible without any optics needed. Some of the other planets like Jupiter may be visible, but you may need a camera or even a telescope for it. But Uranus is definitely need a telescope for it. But this is where they will all kind of sit along our to the horizon, the western horizon, and we'll be able to see all of them kind of in a little bit of an arc. So it looks like a bit of a parade, and that's where that term comes from. So super excited to see that. Make sure to send me pictures if you get in there and get out there and see some of that happen. So keep that in mind. Looks like this may be the wrong rainfall forecast, but we are expecting to see some rainfall going into your Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. So like I mentioned, for tomorrow, we'll see 60s before 10 a.m. Nice and comfortable, but I want to get to your 10-day forecast so you know what to expect. What we're looking at right now is rain chances in and around Tuesday and Wednesday, even Thursday, with a slight chance of rain for those days. And it's really just going to be those nuisance showers, just some light downfalls at times. Not expecting heavy rain at the moment, But this will be something that we track throughout the day, keeping you up to date, making sure that you keep that umbrella on standby. As we get to Friday, as we get to Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday, looks like we may have some threats of a thunderstorm going into the next weekend. But you'll notice, though, temperatures are quite warm. So that may pose a little bit of a severe threat for us. And we'll keep that up to date as things change, because these are the first couple of model runs we'll be getting for those first couple of days. So we should have a better idea of what to expect for the following weekend by Monday. So we'll have a better clue of if there needs to be any first alert weather, anything that we should think ahead of to get out to you all by that rate. So keep that in mind as well as you get ready to plan out for next weekend. Maybe you have some plans this weekend that you just don't get around to. Next weekend, it's probably going to be a little more wet and even getting into some of that thunder there. So we also spring forward an hour. So bye-bye to that extra hour of sleep. But hey, sunset, it changes to about 4 o'clock now. So we get to see the sunset a little earlier than where it has been. And I know a lot of folks have been asking me, when does seasonal depression end? Looks like it may come to a close quite soon. So with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your Friday night. Tune in tonight at 10. I'll be here this weekend as well, doing our 4:30 weather extras and our evening shows this weekend. And I will be filling in for Brad come next week. So it'll be me that you have each and every evening for the next week. With that, I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I will chat with you again pretty soon. Have a great one.